Okay, today we go into chapter 3 revision, more on the organization structure or organization chart. First question, a bit long. It asks you about the advantages and disadvantages of traditional structure, right? So for many years, most organizations utilize uh, the traditional structure, which is hierarchical structure for managing operation and personnel. Traditional structure was based on division, department, functional units. Describe the advantages and disadvantages of traditional structure. Okay, so you bracket traditional structure associated with several levels of management in a specific hierarchy with many levels of between the lowest position and highest position. If you ask to draw diagram, you should able to draw diagram. This is a traditional hierarchy diagram. What do you think? What is the advantages and disadvantages? What do you think? Okay, why? Why you say is easier? Okay. 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 So to better answer rearrange your answer. For organization chart, there are two directions of reporting. One is vertical. One is horizontal. So in this case, if you look at the traditional org chart, it is more in vertical reporting. So when you have vertical reporting, you have, like you say, there is a specific reporting manager. There's a specific manager. Okay, number one, manager, a specific manager. Is your reporting verticals. Okay, then still back to the project management success, the three things. What's the three things for project success? Time, cost, and project scope or customer requirement. So when you have this one, what happened? What is the advantages of cost and budget? What's the advantages? This one. What do you think the budget will go? How it will flow, the budget? Yeah, top to down. But still what? Functional. One. Functional. Two. Functional. Three. So how will the money go? How will the money go? You go to specific department or specific budget for that particular functional unit. Okay. Then what else? Talk about cost just now. We talk about specific reporting, which is in vertical reporting. Okay. Also, the word is a specific manager. All right. We talk about authority, responsibility here already. Specific manager. You have specific cost and budget because you are the money flow into individual functional unit. Okay. Now what else? In this kind of things, in this kind of org chart, who have the final say on the resources? Who have the final say? Huh? Who control the resources? functional manager. Who are at the top of the functional manager in the org chart? Over here. So they are more control or effective control in the resources. Because functional manager, they manage their own resources and their talent, or in other words, called expertise. Okay. So specific manager just now, specific manager, specific budgeting and control cost, right? Specific manager, specific budgeting and cost. Then another one is the effective control of technical issues and expertise, because they manage their resources here. All right. So as long as you elaborate on the function of the functional unit here. So in the traditional org chart, functional manager take charge. So functional manager, what they do, they manage the resources below them. Okay. And then just now, Alex also say that because you're reporting to a specific person, the communication is more effective because you know who you can report to. Okay. Textbook answer is communication channel are well established, but you can elaborate on that based on your own word. The keyword is effective communication, or you can elaborate that as there's a specific person to report to or communicate. Also can. All right. This one, another one is on the policy and procedure. Policies and procedure. There is a continuous policies. Continuity. Continuity of policy and procedure. Why? Because it's already fixed already. The reporting already fixed, and because you fix a functional manager here, functional manager have their own way of doing things. So once you fix the reporting officer, the policy and procedure rarely change because you have the top people up there to watch. Okay. So this is another one. What are the disadvantages? Disadvantages. What is the opposite of all the all the advantages? Just now you start with the communication, right? It's effective in vertical. What happened to horizontal? It's very hard to communicate between the horizontal. If you are functional line A or 1, you want to talk to sorry, this is manager. You want to talk from here to here, you might offended the manager over here. Hey, why you talk to my guy? Or why you walk to my department? Okay. So disadvantages is there is an influence of strongest functional group. There's an influence of a strongest functional group. So you have, let's say on the one that I draw on the whiteboard here, you have 3 functional group. If let's say the functional group number 3 or functional line number 3 or functional unit number 3, they are the strongest. What do you think if you are the strongest functional manager? All the resources will go there. Not all, but most of the time when they decide cost, budget, they have they were the first one who speak up. I want this project. I don't want this project. Give it to functional 1 or functional 2. It's not unfair. When you go to work later, yes, you might feel unfair, but this is the way people work. Okay, is that how you manage it? Again, we are now standing at a position of project manager. Okay, you are the project manager. You actually somewhere between here. you're going inside here. Then you manage the functional manager. Okay, you keep a strong relationship with all these people. Okay, so disadvantages is you mentioned the strongest influence of functional group. That's number one. Okay, so what, and then you elaborate on the influence of functional strongest function group. The decision might based on politics and influence of the functional group lah. Okay, and then coordination. Another one is coordination. Coordination might be difficult. Coordination might be difficult, especially when you have a cross projects or multidiscipline projects. You want to cross function is a bit difficult for traditional. So coordination is a bit difficult. And then if you are the project manager, we're now talking about how you manage project, right? So when you have a project come in here, let's say you have project A, B, C, D, E, F. You have lots of projects. So the project will distribute into functional group 1, 2, 3. So there's the disadvantages for the traditional will be no specific responsibility for a project. No specific responsibility for a project. Because the project already distribute into each one of the functional group. So the functional group, the functional manager will decide which one go first based on the line schedule. Okay, so difficulty will be no specific responsibility for a project. So just now, strongest, the influence of the strongest functional group, all right, it might influence the decision. Number two, coordination is difficult. Number three, there's no specific responsibility for a project. What about respond to customer? What do you think? Respond to customers. Again, where is customer? Customer is here. Customer is the project A customer, project B customer, project C customer. What do you think if customer call and is customer? Okay, call in. I want to know the progress of this one, of my project. What do you think the response? The response will be fast or slow? Why? Yes, because inside functional unit here, there's some information here, there's some information here, there's some information here. Maybe 3% is here, 6% is here, 20% is here, and so on. So maybe the customer A want to know this customer want to know about maybe something that related to these two. Very specific to these two, but these two departments don't talk to each other. So it will be slow. Okay, it will be slow. So respond to customer will be slow, or you can use the word might be slow or may be slow. Okay, this one is more. Next point is about the politics. The tendency towards functional loyalty instead of project loyalty. Talk about loyalty here. Loyalty. Loyalty. If this one traditional, the loyalty will towards functional. Okay. Compared to project loyalty. Functional loyalty and project loyalty. So functional loyalty will be stronger than project loyalty. Again, why traditional? Org chart, who take charge? The functional manager, who's the one have the say on the resources. We have three: traditional, matrix, and hybrid. Three. Okay. It will group the, if it's a matrix will solve this one. Matrix will be opposite of traditional. Traditional is vertical, vertical very strong. So matrix one is horizontal very strong. It's a flip between the one that we say here. Hybrid is a combination between two. Okay. Okay. So disadvantage with just now we mentioned coordination is difficult. Influence of strongest financial groups. No specific responsibilities. Respond to customer very strong, very slow. We talk about loyalty. Functional loyalty will be stronger than project loyalty. Means you loyal to your own functional unit. Okay, rather than the projects. Okay. Another one is the communication between the levels. The levels will be slower. I mean the one if is because this one is hierarchy. So sometimes the inside the own division here have their own challenges, but this one is to me is a additional point, which is communication through levels will be slow and will be distorted. So through level 1, level 2. So later in chapter 6, you will know about management will be level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So communication from level to level will be might be distorted. Okay. Okay. Clear? Okay. Number 2. Which one of the following organization structure would provide the most effective platform for building high performance project team? Here, the focus, the keyword there is high performance project team. Provide the rationale or reason to support your answer. Here, functional. Functional means traditional, metrics, and project based or product based. The keyword here, the key in the question is building a high performance project team. So between these three is the project organization chart is the most suitable. Okay, this one project, project or pure projects organization chart. Why? Because in the project base project organization structure, who have the highest authority? Project manager. Project manager have the strongest or greatest level of authority and influence over the team. Okay. If it's functional, then functional manager. If it's project, then is project manager have the final say. Okay, not final say but have the greatest influence. Okay. All right. Then the team, because it's under project manager. So you see here, the loyalty on the project will be more than the functional. Means the resources will be dedicated to projects with no other priorities. Means the resources will give it to projects later than the functional units. There's a difference between the traditional one and the projects organization chart. Okay. And the third one is the KPI. The KPI of organization chart under project base is that the project team performance review will link to the project success. Means the performance review, the team performance review will associate or link to the project success rather than functional success. Okay, it's based on the project, not the products. Okay, project is project. There's two different things. Okay. Right. Number 3. Okay, number 3 here is fill in the blanks. Match the type of structure and correct characteristic of description. So you give the functional, weak matrix, balance matrix, strong matrix, and pure projects. So here you have characteristic and description 1 to 14. Okay, 1 to 14, and then you try to fill in which one and which one. Okay. So the first one, project manager have little to no authority. What do you think? Yes, it's functional. Why? Functional, again, functional is the functional manager. They are the one who have the say on the resources. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something since all the discussion so far. All right, second one, expeditor. Expeditor. Can someone Google what is expeditor? Huh? Check. Because I also don't know. What is the meaning of expeditor? What is the Google Translate? Expeditor. What's the meaning? Something happens sooner. Oh, okay. Expeditor. Is that? It's a processor. Okay. So speed up process, right? So if you mention process, it's not project, so it's under functional. Yeah. So actually, it's just grouping the keyword lah. That process got certain keyword you link to the correct one. Okay. Third one, project manager has some authority. Some. The word here is some. It's a weak matrix. Have some means it's a weak. Okay. Number 4, strong manager have high and total authority. Which one? Which type of the structure here? Project manager have the highest authority. This one, pure project. Can you see the scale here? The more you move to the left, more functional manager have authority. The more you move to the left, right, more project manager have authority. Here, mix, share. Okay. If your company have something somewhere between here, then project manager need to have a very good in politics, very good in diplomatic skill. They need to have a very, very good relationship. Okay, number 4 is pure projects. Number 5, there is equal authority between project manager and function manager. Which one? Equal. Here is equal. Equal authority. This one is balance. Balance means equal. Okay. So this module actually not very hard. You just need to try to think what is the keyword, what is the meaning of that word, and then you link to project manager, functional manager. That's it. Okay. Number 6, project manager have a moderate to high level authority. So I just now I tell you the relationship already. So the more you move to the right is project manager. So here is 100%. So number 6 have moderate high is the strong matrix. Moderate to high level, but it's not total control yet. Total control is pure projects. Okay, so there's a moderate high to full authority. So there's a level there. Okay. So you learn engineering, you learn mathematics. You actually can split the column into numbers actually. The more you move to the left is more functional. The more you move to the right is more project manager. Okay. Number 7, project coordinator. Project coordinator means where does the project coordinator will usually appear in the organization chart between the 5 here. On the left here is functional unit or functional manager. On the right here is project manager. So project coordinator here is between these 3. So here is weak matrix. It's under weak matrix. So you will see a position called project coordinator in the weak matrix. Okay. Number 8, one clearly defined manager. One clearly defined manager. There's no project here. Without the project, it means functional. Clearly defined manager. Manager, manager, manager. So it's under functional. Cannot. I hope you guys try to understand what is happening here. Yeah. I think this exercise will actually give you a clearer picture. Okay. So number 8, one clearly defined manager here. Do not mention there's no project manager. There's no project here. So manager is actually referring to the functional manager. Okay. Number 9, staff members are grouped by their specialties. Again, the word here is specialties. They are grouped by specialties. What do you think? Functional. Okay, answer is functional. For if they are grouped by their specialties, means finance, engineering, sales, marketing. Okay, so they are functional. Project work is done independently. This one very. Okay, this one project work is done independently. This one is functional. Okay, means it's work independently. Okay. Huh? Sorry. Oh, okay. Okay, number. Good. Sorry. Number 10 is project work independently is pure project. Sorry, not functional. Not functional. It's a project done independently. Project is pure projects. Not functional. If here change to specific work is done, or they use another word. Means they don't use the word projects. They use another one linked to the functional one. For example, if number 10 change to specialize, it change to something linked with the functional word one. Right? Or here is like you would put as a specific department work independently, or each discipline or each division works independently, then it's under functional. Okay. So projects, you see the projects normally linked to the project. 11, team members are often co-located. Team members are often co-located. Co-located means they are put in the same office. It's a project lah, because when a project you will set up a PMO, project management office. Right? So it's under pure project or project. Okay, team members are often co-located. Co-located means they share the same office. 12, resources report directly to project manager. Okay, this one, project, under pure projects. 13, the project manager has no control on the project budget. Functional, very good, Okay, the project manager have full control. Check. Okay, so as from this exercise, you know, again, the more towards the functional manager responsibility or authority or decision will be more on the functional. On the right is more on the project manager. Okay. Next one. Matrix organization structure. What is the advantages and disadvantages? So just now you do the exercise already. You know what is the project base, what is the functional base. So what is the advantages? Okay, are you able to draw the organization chart for matrix? It is functional, functional, functional. Project, project, project. Functional manager, project, or basically, if you flip this one to horizontal, actually they are same authority with the functional manager. Then you draw arrow. This one is project authority or project. This one you refer to the PowerPoint slides in our lecture. This one you go down is functional authority or functional decision and so on. So basically they are shared in this region. Okay. So what are the advantages if you have this kind of organization chart? Resources, what happened to resources? Okay, distribute equally, or another better word is better utilization of resources. Better utilization of resources, or you can elaborate on that lah. Okay. Then what about the coordination between functional unit? What happened to the coordination between functional unit in this matrix organization chart? Better, right? Better coordination, right? So the second point is coordination, but you add in better or improved coordination between functional groups. Okay. Then just another elaborate on the resources. When you touch resources, you can actually split resources to another one called talent. Okay, so the expertise of functional unit can be used more efficiently. Okay, if you touch on resources, you're still correct, but you can elaborate based on resources is a talent, or the expertise in a functional group can be used more effectively. So resources here normally is referred to the machine, software, and so on. Okay, here advantages is project manager. The role of project manager will be coordinator. And what is the benefit to the project manager in this matrix? They have more authority compared to the traditional one. Okay, so this one is you touch about project manager here, the P component here, project manager. They have more authority, or they may have some authority in this matrix structure. Okay, so here matrix structure, project manager, they act as a coordinator. Okay, disadvantages. You just elaborate on the advantages. Here, what happened to the resources inside here? What do you think? What do you think the resources will happen here? Everyone share the resources. So what is the bad things if you share the things? Okay. So another better word is there is multiple priorities and demands for the resources. There are multiple priorities and demands on the resources. And because of these different priorities, some resources may be overlocated. It may be overlocated, or another one, or overlocated. Opposite is what? You elaborate on that. Okay. Okay. Then another one is the schedule. There will be some schedule conflicts. The more schedule conflict is more over here compared to the traditional one, because you have you mix everything, then the schedule will be more complex. So there's a schedule conflicts over here. Then if the project manager and the functional manager don't have a good relationship, then also will create conflict here. So if these two always fight one, then resources here stop lah. They will spend more time quarreling rather than discussing how to use the resources. Between project manager and functional manager. So here, matrix one, you need to have a very good relationship one, because you are sharing the resources, right? You have because project manager and functional manager in this organization, they are level, means they are same level. You cannot order me to do things. I cannot order you to do things. We can talk, but you cannot order me to do things. Understand? Traditional, there's no project manager location here. He just suddenly appointed by CEO, temporarily put you inside here. Then you are here, you just coordinate, make sure the project running, but the final stage still the project manager for traditional. Okay. Okay, good. We're done with the advantages, disadvantages of metrics. Okay, number 5. Explain the difference between authority, responsibility, and accountability. So this one available in my slides. So I'm going to give you the answer. Authority is the right to make decision. Authority is the right to make decision. I just highlight the keyword. The rest you elaborate. Okay. Authority is the right to make decision. Responsibility is to perform a certain task or to perform tasks. Is related to task one. Okay. Or you can just put a very simple English, to do certain tasks or to do tasks or to complete tasks. Okay, or to complete a certain job also can. Okay, related to task one. Okay, authority is the right to make decision, or the word keyword more important is a decision, right? Accountability is a bit lengthy, but accountability, what I'm looking for is answerable for the consequences. Means you're answerable to the consequences, or you take full responsibility on the decision, not decision. You cannot use decision. Decision is the authority. Accountability means answerable or responsible for the consequences. A bit lengthy, but you can use your own words to elaborate, as long as you get the ideas. Okay, I don't expect you to write all these in the exam. It's just that you elaborate the as long as you mention the keyword that I highlight here, then you are fine. Can Okay. Number 6. Oh, okay. Explain the term enterprise environment factor. This one is not within our PowerPoint slide, but I'll give you the answer. Okay, so enterprise environment factor here is condition not under the control of the project manager, but it may influence the planning and execution of the projects. So enterprise environment factor, it means that the keyword here is environment. It's outside the project manager office and all this. So this one, it may be because of the culture, infrastructure, marketplace condition, the registration of governments, policy, industrial standard. This one is outside the control of the project manager. You can say it's an environment. So this is enterprise or business environment factor. It is not under the control of project manager, but can influence the execution of the projects. Okay, so it can be internal and external. So this one, business environment factor or enterprise environment factor can be two types. One is within the company. In this case, example of that environment is the culture inside the company. So outside the company is, for example, the marketplace condition, the government rules and regulation, industrial standard. This one is outside the company one. Okay. Number 7, define the term stakeholders. This one important when you learn about project management. You always see stakeholders. All right. So stakeholders, provide example of stakeholders that are typically associated with project. Still back to the project management. So I just give you the answer. Stakeholders, they are any person or organization directly involved that can affect the projects. Okay, stakeholders, they are any person that involved that can be affect the projects. Okay, so you have primary stakeholders and secondary stakeholders again. So what is primary stakeholders is anyone that within the company and the supply chain, from the director until the customers. Secondary stakeholders is a factor that outside the supply chain. For example, government, constitution, some worker union. That one outside is a secondary stakeholders. Okay. Yeah. So this one is a example project manager, team, sponsor, contractor, supplier, business unit. This is stakeholders. Okay. Number 8, why organization culture considered to be a business environment factor or enterprise environment factor? Why? Of course, this question is very unfair to engineering student. You have a wild guess. What do you think is environment factor? Huh? Change time to time. Okay. Why? What will it influence either the traditional organization chart or the metric chart? The culture will form what? This is actually ask you what do you understand about the culture, the word culture? What will culture do to the organization? Okay, do things differently. Why? Why they do things differently? Or what makes them do things differently? Okay, that one is traditional, not culture. Traditional way, because you follow. Culture is something that you practice based on what is right, what is feel right in the environment there. Okay, so culture maybe, for example, culture maybe the one that we see just now. Maybe in that company, project manager number 3 here have the strongest influence. So it become a culture. Every time project come into the company, they will go and ask project manager number 3 here first, rather than ask other two. That is called culture. So, okay, so this one, I'll just give you a bit lengthy, but I want to highlight a few things lah. So, so here, the keyword here is internal organization barrier. Culture norms create barriers between functional groups and might affect the project planning process. Okay, you see this one, why the culture is actually is a factor here, because the culture can create barriers that affect the project plannings. Okay, the keyword is barriers, organization barriers between the functional group. This is the keyword here is functional group, not between the project managers. Between the functional groups that influence the project planning process. Okay. So this one is an example. Is an example. Some company, their operation groups or functional group, they can direct contact with the customer supplier rather than go through the specific department. Okay, this is another example. Okay. Okay, number 9. We go through 2 more, then we have a short break. Okay, complete the following tables describing influence relationship between project characteristics and organization structure. Refer this one. This one actually I already upload this PM Books Guide 6th edition in the Canvas. Already upload there. So if you are not aware, it's already inside the Canvas. Okay, so it's a very to me it's a very thick handbook, but you can see. But based on the instruction here, you can just go and see the organization chart there. Okay, so I just give you some the answer here lah. So project characteristic, project manager, resource, who control, so functional structure, weak matrix. Here still the same question like the question. Yeah, question what already? Question 3 is almost same like question 3. Okay, so let's do exercise. So again, if you download the document, you go to chapter 2.44. There's one chart look like this, very long table. Okay, so but this one already summarized the table. So project manager authority. So it will move from little, limited, low, moderate, moderate to high, and high. So this one actually is the same like the one that we do in exercise number 3 or question number 3. Okay, project manager. Okay, question number 3, you do this one, but we don't touch on the resources. So this exercise, add one more exercise for the resources. So what do you think resources in the functional structure here? What do you think? Still same, Resources ability, functional structure is very little. It's very little. And then it keep increasing towards project. Okay, towards project. So for functional resource ability, actually little or none. But for projects, you have a resource ability. Who control the control budget? Who control the project budget? If you are functional structure, who control? functional manager. Then here show project manager. Okay, here then it start to, if you're weak means towards the functional already, so you still functional manager. Balance, mix. Balance mean balance mix. Strong towards project manager already. Then project manager. Okay. Then you go to project manager role here. Okay, project manager role here. The answer only have two answer. Full time or part time. What do you think? When you have a functional structure, what is the status of project manager? Does the project manager full time or part time over here? Here, of course, full time lah, because project lah. But what do you think here? Here is part time because functional. In a functional structure, again, the more important is a functional manager. So if your company have a structure, functional one is a part time. Part time means here is not a full time person that will have a control over there. So this one weak metrics always linked to the functional structure behavior. So also part time. So balance, well balanced. This one is well balanced means equal already. So equal means full time already. Equal means you have a position fixed in the organization chart already. Okay. Then towards the end of the right, full time. Okay. So I hope it will strengthen your understanding in the project manager and functional units in project management. So project management, administrative support. Here also have two words, part-time or full-time. So actually this one is project management, administrative support. These two is part-time. But for balance actually you don't need much of administrative support. Why? Because you share resources here already. So you don't need a full-time staff for well-balanced metrics. So, sorry. So, error. This is not full-time, it's part-time. Error. Typo error. It's not full-time, it's part-time. Okay. Then full-time. Okay. Error again. Balance. Those watching YouTube one. For the project management, administrative support, balance metrics is part-time, not full-time. Typo error. Okay. Number 10, last question, then we go for a short break. What method can be used to improve coordination of the workflow between functional units without changing the organization structure? Okay, so this one I give you the answer. Okay, so first you define the enterprise environment factor that we learned just now, and organization process assets. Second one, you have a mutual agreement between the rules and procedure. Standardize the planning process. And the last one, not last one, but the fourth answer is you have established a hierarchy referral or the process. Means there's a process there. So this is the coordination, how you do coordination between the functional units without changing the organizational structure. So how do you improve the coordination? You do either one of these. Okay. One thing won't go wrong. One is you use the word standardize. There's a standardization in something. Okay. You want to do coordination. Every time you see the question that asks you, how do you solve workflow or something? Use the word standardization on what? On planning process, on procedure, and process and so on. Okay, we have a short break. We continue 9:10. 9:10.